Hello, Cache Valley neighbors. When I first ran as a candidate, I made two very simple commitments. My first was to restore your voice. By that I meant I'd have an open door to all of you to listen and to make sure your voice is heard on Capitol Hill. My second commitment was to be a strong, conservative voice in the state legislature. To the very best of my ability, I've kept both those commitments. I've also actively sought input from our district, and I've jumped in where I could help. Recently, a local physician called me in a panic. He was being financially threatened by Medicaid bureaucrats. I immediately engaged, and working with this doctor, we were able to recover over $50,000 they had wrongly billed his practice. Not long before, I worked with a family that had a loved one being unlawfully harassed by a law enforcement agency. They needed help, and I was happy to assist. And when the city of North Logan, they had trouble securing a badly needed well and proper water storage, they called me, and I was able to assist them on resolving the issues with the state agencies involved to procure the needed funding. Since assuming office, I've received thousands of emails, texts, and phone calls. And I want you to know that just like that doctor who was being abused by Medicaid, I've got your back. You have an ally in the Utah House of Representatives. I'll listen and I'll help. When I ran for this office, I promised to be a consistent, conservative voice in the Utah State Legislature. I voted just that way. Here are some examples. I voted to reduce income tax by $1.3 billion. I voted to secure our electrical supply for Utah families and businesses. I voted to restore our Second Amendment gun rights so that lawful owners can once again carry without a government permit. I voted in opposition to taxpayer funding or guarantees for Major League Baseball and National Hockey League stadiums. I voted to defend our youth from indoctrination by removing critical race theory from our schools. I sponsored legislation allowing Utah children to actually talk with their counselors rather than simply being affirmed. And I sponsored legislation to put the Ten Commandments back in our school curricula. And finally, without second thought, I voted to protect our girls by banning biological men who want to hang out in women's locker rooms and restrooms. Votes like these are the reasons conservative champions like U.S. Senator Mike Lee have kindly given me their endorsement. I kept my promise to listen and to be your conservative voice in the Utah State Legislature, and I promise to continue to do so as long as I'm your representative. I'm Mike Petersen, and I ask for your vote.